Hi, shipbuilders. Coming to you live on tape from Lincoln High School, an empty Lincoln High School still. Hoping that you all had a wonderful Easter holiday weekend filled with family, some time to get away from the emails, Google Classrooms, video chats, and other things, just to spend time with your family and friends in small numbers, of course. Um, Two things I want to talk to you about. Usually I end with taking care of yourself. Today I'm going to start with it. I read a nice article last week by a lady named Darcy Luma talking a little bit about the roller coaster ride of emotions that COVID-19 is or can bring about. And in this article, she talked a little bit about gratitude and grief, and it caught my eye. That's actually one of the reasons I read the article, because I'm like, that doesn't usually go together. But what she was saying is in this time where all the news that we're seeing is, a lot of it anyway, is people in tough positions, whether it be the nurses and doctors working on the front lines of this disease without the proper protective equipment that they desire or need, whether it's folks losing their jobs or all of a sudden needing to do their essential work and homeschool kids. Where we're getting to the point where during our roller coaster ride, which I've experienced, there's parts of this that I love. I love being able to see my kids and Aaron more than I normally would. That's been an unintended plus. But there's also been some lows, not, i.e., as I've shared before, not seeing you and the students makes it hard for me. And what I've learned from this article is that there's a little bit of guilt going on in that we want to think about things in the area of, I might be feeling bad about X or Y, but I don't have it as bad as this person or this person or this person. And one of the dangers of that is holding those emotions or trying to fend off those emotions rather than experiencing them and taking them for what they are. So the question that was phrased in this article that got me thinking about is, what's really hard about this? And everybody's answer is going to be their answer. It'll be different. Things that I think are really hard about this, other people love. So being in the context in terms of being able to identify and name what it is that's really hard is an important step in trying to help us not do this during this, and keeping more of a level is having a way, either through a family member, a close friend, a colleague, maybe in your collaborative teams, that you can openly discuss what you're feeling. Hey, this is really hard. Now, the challenge with this is that it's natural for people to share what's really hard in a way where we're judging either what's really hard compared to other people's what's really hard. And what she's saying is, in these sessions they're doing around the highs and the lows and about what's really hard, the important thing about laying the groundwork for this is that it's a judgment-free zone. So what she's noticed is, in a judgment-free zone, people who are able to clearly express what's really hard about this can do so in an encouraging way and feel better, and the energy becomes more positive as a result of people being able to share their emotions and what's really hard. So it's completely natural for us, given the loss of our connectivity and routines that we so rely on as human beings, to feel low. And according to Darcy in her counseling sessions, naming it and acknowledging it is really the first step in helping avoid some of the roller coasters. So I share that with you because it really helped me think through things a little bit this week and add some extra time to be quiet and reflect, and acknowledge and name some things that have been bothering me. So this week I asked kids to send me a hello video. Don't care if it's 10 seconds, but I need them, and it's okay for me to need them. And so their challenge was just send me just a short video saying hi. I just said I want to see your smiling faces. So that led me to that. So if there's something that you can acknowledge and name that you can think through or reflect on how it might help you, please do so, because we want to try to avoid the roller coasters that are the COVID-19 quarantine that we're living in. The other thing that I wanted to chat with you about is just how awesome it was just to see a lot of you in our Q&A session last week, Wednesday. Sort of was consensus was we're going to get together 1 o'clock on each Wednesday just to check in. I won't have a huge agenda or anything. I'll give you any updates I have on anything that I said I was going to look into. And the other part of it is that we will plan on answering any questions people have and sharing stories about our work with kids. Because those, I can't tell you how good I felt leaving that get together Wednesday. So I look forward to seeing you Wednesday afternoon. If you can't make it, no big deal. These are not mandatory. These are not something that you have to do. It's just a chance to kind of all be together. And I did download the grid thing you shared with me. That is so cool. My wife was on an extended family, one of those over the weekend, and she was able to utilize that too. It was really cool. So the question that I have in preparation for our time together Wednesday for you to start thinking about is, if we are in a position where our pass fail turns into a pass incomplete, I want to ask the question, what systems do we have in place if that does occur for kids who get an incomplete? Or what systems should we have in place for kids who don't get to proficiency in our essential learnings? I'm starting to think through that a little bit as we move forward in thinking about learning as opposed to a grade, but actually the learning, in combination with some ideas that people have thrown out there. I think the traditional system of school has lent itself to kids thinking that it's an option for them to just fail the class. And I think the challenge that we have in front of us is, because of that traditional system that everyone's used to, we're shifting to a system of where failing really isn't an option. That if I didn't learn it, it becomes an incomplete, and an incomplete isn't a failure. So it's really kind of taking away the excuse for the student and allowing us as the adults to hold ourselves and the students accountable for their learning. I'm just not quite sure if we have the systems in place, when we get to the end of our grading period, about what to do with students who have not demonstrated their learning yet. And I think that, that mind shift and that mindset is something that we have to start thinking about. And I can't imagine a smarter, brighter, more committed group of people and talented in education as the people that I work with at Lincoln. And so the sooner we start thinking about this together, I am certain that the right answer and the right systems and the right ways to do this are all here with us right now, and that we just have to sort through some of this and make sense of it and then apply it. But I do think I look at it as a challenge, but also, and more importantly, a tremendous opportunity for us to help shift the mindset of kids. That it's, I think their current mindset is well, if I just avoid and I'm going to fail. I'll just fail. I'll take the failure. Where if that option's gone, what does that look like for a kid? What does that look like for us telling a kid, hey, you can't fail. You get an I, that means you've got to show us that you have these 3, 4, or 5 God knows that I said that you had to have. And if that doesn't happen by June 12th, it doesn't happen. But it's got to happen in order for you to move on and be in a place where you leave Lincoln High School ready for what's next in your life. So that's my challenge for the week. when we get together Wednesday, I'm just going to open things up to after we do an update and share some stories. And the real question is what could or should our system look like for a kid who either isn't able to or doesn't engage and demonstrate their learning if failure isn't an option. And I look forward to hearing your ideas around that, because we'll be busy thinking about this for the next couple weeks and how we might be able to develop that system. Until then, acknowledge and name something that's really hard. Find someone to have that conversation with. If you don't have anybody to have that conversation, pick up the phone and call me, because it's pretty therapeutic. I've tried it myself and actually came up with a problem-solving way of trying to get what I need and overcome what is really hard during all this. One thing I do know is that our hearts and our minds are focused on getting through this coronavirus, COVID-19 deal, and we're all in it together. Some of the tremendous humanitarianism and compassion and empathy that I'm seeing is off the charts, and really encouraging my heart about our just humankind and mankind coming together to celebrate the people who are on the front lines of this, helping us get through it. So thanks for all of your efforts. Continue to remain healthy, safe, happy, and I look forward to seeing you Wednesday. Thanks for all you do, shipbuilders. That's all for now.